Let's learn how to solve rational equations. Don't you think you guys should stop fighting? You're both being irrational. On the agenda, we're going to solve rational equations. It's important to check for extraneous solutions and make sure your answer does not make the denominator equal 0. Let's get ready. You need your notes and pencil. We'll do 4 problems together. Be sure to pause and try the last one on your own. So here's our first one. It's a fraction equaling a fraction, and you might just think I can cross multiply, which you can, but I'm not sure students really understand what they're doing when they say cross multiplying, and why do you cross multiply through an equal sign? So what you really want to do is clear the denominator. So I want to multiply by all of the pieces in the denominator, and what's going to happen is it's going to make it simplify to 1. So with my first fraction, my x's will multiply to 1, and I'm going to have x plus 6 times the x plus 1. And on my second side, my right-hand side, my x plus 1s are going to simplify to 1. I still have this x here, so don't lose that, and this is going to be 2x. So we're going to multiply this out. It is a quadratic, so I'm going to set it equal to 0 so I can solve. It is the 5 and 6's, so be careful. It is factorable, so I'm going to have x plus 2 and x plus 3 equals 0. Take each of those factors and set them equal to 0. And x equals negative 2 and x equals negative 3. My limits from my denominator, x can't be 0, x can't be negative 1, which it didn't come out to be, so both of those are my answers. Let's try this one. It's an equation. It's set equal to 0. I'm going to clear my denominator, and that's the only piece, so I'm going to multiply everything by x minus 4. So I have x squared minus 4x, and then x minus 4's will simplify to 1. I still have that 1 there, and then 0, I still have 0. Now this one's not factorable, so I have to do the quadratic formula. So negative b is 4 plus or minus negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 all over 2 times 1. So we're going to have x plus, that's 16 minus 4 which is 12, square root of 12 all over 2. So we're going to simplify the square root of 12 to 2 root 2 over 2. We're going to simplify the fractions to 2 plus or minus root 2 for my final answer. A little bit bigger here. Notice my last denominator. I'm going to factor that. Factors to x minus 1, x minus 3, which are my other two pieces. So that's my entire common denominator. So I'm going to clear my denominator by multiplying by both of those pieces. So my first fraction needs to get multiplied by the x minus 3. My second fraction needs to get multiplied by the x minus 1. And the last fraction already has everything, so it is just 2. And now you can see we have truly cleared the denominator. I'm going to distribute through. It is a quadratic again, so I'm going to put it into standard form. And this one is factorable. So we have 2x, and then I'm going to put the 3 there. That one has to be negative, so this is going to be plus 1. So we get x to be negative 1/2 and x to be 3. If I look at my factored pieces of my denominator, x cannot be 1 and x cannot be 3. I did try to say that x was 3, so I'm going to cancel that. This is my only answer. X can be negative 1/2. Go ahead and pause this one and try it on your own. I'm going to clear the denominator by multiplying by both the x plus 9 and the x plus 5. My first one gets multiplied by the x plus 5. My second one by the x plus 9. And the last one needs the x plus 9. Distribute. And a big distributive property. It is a quadratic. I have my x squared on the right hand side, so I'll keep it there to keep it positive. So I am going to set it equal to 0. And once I combine like terms, I am going to get a factorable quadratic. And that goes to x plus 5 and x plus 2. Therefore, x equals -5 and x equals -2. Looking for my limits, x can't be -9, x can't be -5, so I'm going to exclude that answer as a -5 is extraneous. My final answer is -2. So to recap, we're clearing the denominator. You need to make sure you factor or use the quadratic formula to solve. If it comes out to be a quadratic, check for extraneous solutions. Make sure your answer doesn't make your denominator 0. Good job.